guys, so today I'm going to be talking about a K-drama. We have not ever talked about a K-drama on this channel, but I feel like it's kind of within the genres of stuff we would talk about because, you know, my main focus on this page is Japanese dramas and anime and manga. I also do talk about sometimes American stuff that I'm really into or want to talk about. They don't do as well, but I talk about it. And so, like, I mean, we're just expanding to another part of Asia, and I think that is cool and great. Today, we're talking about, I don't know if I said which one we're talking about yet, All of Us Are Dead, which is a K-drama. Again, I keep like saying it's a K-drama, because it is a K-drama. Yeah, it's a zombie K-drama, which is not necessarily something I'm always into, but my fiance really, really likes zombies, and so he saw this on the, like, trending in USA tab, and he was like, we have to watch it, and so we watched it. And also, I just haven't seen enough people talk about this show, and I just wanted to talk about it because I wanted to be like, yeah, let's discuss. How do you feel? I don't even know how I feel about it at the end. So yeah, I'm also filming this before I have to get to work. I have to leave for work in like 30 minutes, so hopefully I can get all my feelings out within 30 minutes. You guys won't see all the 30 minutes, but like I hope to get it all out by then. So this is based on a 2009 manhwa. It's technically a manhwa. It's technically also a line comic, a line webtoon. If you guys know what those are, it's like an app and you can like read manga and stuff from it. It's like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not describing it very well, but it's one of those. And so yes, and the series is actually already finished. I obviously haven't read it. I don't know if it's only in Korean, and so I haven't even actually tried to look it up. I do assume that because the series is getting popular, that they're going to release either a physical copy of this manhwa, or they're probably going to like at least have a translated version. At least I hope so, because it would make sense. It would make sense financially if they did that, and I kind of want to read it. I kind of want to know. I kind of want to see. I've never read a manhwa, so I really do want to. This will be an interesting first one. You guys have watched my channel for years. You know that I've talked about this. Maybe. Actually, that video did not do that well, so maybe you don't know. I did do a video on this, on a similar concept, Japanese anime called School Life, which literally is the same concept, kind of. I'm going to go into the plot, but yeah, this is more, if you like that show, you probably like this show. It's kind of, this is more of a gory version of School Life, which I have done a video on the anime, and I'm thinking about doing a video on the live action now that we're talking about this drama, because I'm like, I kind of want to compare it now that I've watched this show and that show, because it's like same general school zombie drama. Yeah, school zombie drama. Right? So yeah, plot. I'm gonna go into the plot. It is gonna be spoiling a little bit of episode 1, but yeah, it's very convoluted. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of, you guys can see my script. Do you see my script? It is a lot. Okay, so if I look down, it's because yeah. So it starts off with us seeing a kid that is being bullied on a like ledge, like a rooftop. Is that what it's called? Yeah, on top of a building. And his name is Jinsu. This is technically like in some ways the most important, but also kind of not important character. Like, he is the driving force of this show, but he does, okay, yeah, anyway. So basically, he is bullied really, really bad at school, and if you guys understand Korean or Japanese bullying, it is nothing like America. Bullies in America seem like they don't do anything compared to like Asian bullying. It's like actually really bad. Like things like sometimes trafficking happens, or like to a point where they'll like physically hurt them. They will like, if you like, you know how they say sticks and stones won't like cannot break you or whatever. No. Asian bullies will literally be like, okay, if it can't, I'm gonna get an A+ in bullying because I'm gonna break you psychologically, physically. It's really, really a problem in Asia, at least from what I understand as a Japanese American. And so because of that, Jinsu's dad decides to make a kind of experimental like formula to experiment on his kid, and so to make him stronger and like so he won't be bullied anymore. And it's pretty much a experiment to like, basically he's trying to put more adrenaline in him so he could fight back, because people tend to be stronger in things when they have adrenaline. And so yeah, basically his dad starts, I'm back, my camera decided to die. His dad is the science teacher at Hyosan High School, and But before he was a high school teacher, he used to work at a pharmaceutical company in America. This is really a big deal. They talk about this a few times during the show because, you know, especially in like Asian shows, it's always such a success story if like anyone has lived or worked in America. Like, he worked in America. He's smart. Like, that's kind of the inclination, which is kind of hilarious if you're from America. Being Asian American, I'm just like, yeah, no, I think I don't believe in those stereotypes. America's just as shitty. If you see the glow, it's because on my iPad, because I have a little baby script. He also decides the science teacher also is experimenting at the school. He's experimenting on mice and stuff like that, I assume, because he has resources to like stuff that he wouldn't have at home at his school. So one day a girl goes into his office and sees the mice and gets bit by the mice, and he sees her in her office that she's bit, and so he kidnaps her. He literally just takes her because he knows what's going to happen. And I assume that he did this so he doesn't get caught, because because obviously he already is, his at this point his son is like disappeared. People don't know what happened to him. People think that he either committed suicide or like has died, but they don't know what happened fully. There's an investigation going on though, because he's been gone for a while and he's been severely bullied, like physically bullied, and so that's also a really big part. So I mean, the students do think this teacher's weird, but they're like, well, I mean, his son disappeared, of course he's gonna be a little weird. Obviously things like that become rumors, and eventually the girl that got kidnapped does actually escape. And when she escapes, she like kind of gets into her homeroom class, and then she kind of faints, and everyone's like, oh my god, what happened? So they like rush her to the nurse, and they like take her temperature, and she's like really fucking cold, like really not normally cold, like I think like 32 Celsius. I'm American. I don't know I don't know temperatures, but like something like that. It was like 32, I think. And so they're like, oh my god, she's like abnormally cold. And so they're like, let's call the they like try to sedate her. First of all, my school doesn't. I don't think my school has sedatives. Again, I'm from New York. We don't have sedatives here, but they gave her a sedative, and so she knocks out. They get an ambulance to come, but before they knock her out, she does bite two people. She bites Onju, which was one of her classmates, and also the school nurse. Something that I was really, at least I thought she bit both of them, because they do end up bandaging, like, so her dad, Onju's dad, is a firefighter, and so he also does ambulance stuff. I don't know how that works, but like he went to the school with the ER truck type thing. It looks like a regular moving van in Korea, I guess, because I've never seen ambulance in Korea, but it looks very much different than like an American ambulance. And so she like gets wrapped up, so I assume that she got bit, but she doesn't. I don't know if she did, because a few minutes after, obviously the teacher did get bit, she turns into a zombie. Yes, we're finally at the zombie plot point. And yeah, the nurse ends up biting a few people, and then those people start to bite other people, and we are in a whole school apocalyptic situation now, and shit starts to get crazy. Everyone is trying to get safe or get into rooms and stuff like that. So yeah, we try to like, you know, like once one person gets bitten, and also because the girl got sent to the ER, there's also an outbreak in the city. It seems like, from my understanding, maybe this is wrong, the school is kind of off from the like main part of the city. Like, it feels kind of far into the city, and so it is kind of a drive away in order to, not that, I don't think it takes that long, but it is like a drive in order to get to the hospital. I don't know why my brain did not. I was like, where do you go in the ER? In the ambulance, you go to the ER, which is in the hospital. Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's where the hijinks ends. If that interests you, should watch this show. Yes, I know I kind of skipped over a lot of bits of this show in this first like 30 minutes of the first episode, but oh my god, this show, I do really like it. I did really enjoy it, and I love the pacing, but oh my god, it is 12 hours, more or less 12 hours of runtime. Maybe, being generous, maybe it's like 11 and a half, but it's a really, really long show, so it has a lot of things going on. We have a lot of storylines going on at the same time, and I did like that, because we had like multiple storylines going on at multiple times, it was not boring. But I noticed though, as we get on to the show, like further into the show, the pacing gets kind of weird, and I think it's because it's like, I can understand if someone will probably drop off at around like certain points, because like they'll sometimes like stop, like as you get 75% into it, they'll start slowing down. Like it'll be something where it's like you should do this in like a minute so you don't die, and they'll still be like, it's okay, and it'll be so slow. And I know like it's like, oh, like in zombie shows people are gonna die, but there's like sometimes, a lot of the time, it was so fucking avoidable that I'm like, oh cool, great, fine. And I mean, there's so many main characters, and so because of that, I know it's fine, it's like, it's okay, like, but then when you get attached to a certain main character and like something happens to them, it hurts so much more. It's like, I was emotionally, it just tied. I mean, and because we had so much time to get to know these people, because it's like 11 hours long, I was so much more like, oh my god, I don't want anything bad to happen, oh my god, no. And if you guys wonder, I actually watched this in English, because like on Netflix there's an option for English, because me and my fiance both speak English or comprehend English, because I hate when people say speak English, when like you can sometimes not speak something and understand it anyway. But yeah, so we like watch it in English first, and then I watched the first and second episode again in Japanese. I will say, maybe it's that I just miss things, but honestly, if you're gonna watch a Korean drama in a different language, Japanese is so much better, because like I said, I understand Japanese is my first language, but it does translate one-to-one a lot more, because the cultures are so much closer to each other that I did not understand half the things that like I said, I rewatched the first episode in order to do this video and to kind of explain the plot and stuff. But yeah, I didn't catch half of it, and I don't know if it's because I'm slow or because it just doesn't, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? If you are going to watch it in another language, is that Korean? Because you don't have time to read. I mean, also, I don't care. You can watch it in any language you want. I just personally like watching it in languages I understand, because then I can, like, it's easier for me, because I don't like reading subtitles, which is probably because, like, here's the thing, I know people are like, just watch your subs, and I'm like, yeah, I don't watch my anime subs. I do, but I don't read it. So I'm just like, oh yeah, like, I don't really want to do that. It's like, I don't want to do it. I'm sorry. I'm Japanese, okay? I don't want to read it. Which, yes, I know that Japanese people sometimes use subtitles of English movies. I know. But it was just like, I do not want to. If I was going to do a review on every single episode, then I think I can, like, go into detail about everything and I liked and everything I didn't like. But I don't really want to spoil too much, except for, like, maybe the first half of the first episode in this. So I'm just going to say, like, I really enjoyed this show. I really like the characters. I think that, like I said, for the most part, great pacing. Sometimes upsetting, but I think they do that so that you will get upset. I'm 99% sure. A lot of people think that there's gonna be a second season to the show, but I just don't know. Like, the way it ended, it could be a second season, it could not be a second season. But I feel like because it's a series that's already I don't know, like, a lot of Asian shows just don't have second seasons, but I know Squid Game is going to, and like, I think because it's a Netflix original show, even in Korea, it's a Netflix original show. I don't know if it's ever been on TV, maybe it has, but it is marketed for Netflix. I don't know what formula we're gonna go with or how we're gonna do this, because like normal, like a lot of regular Japanese and Korean shows just don't have second season. So I'm like I'm not getting excited for a second season until like Netflix says there's a second season, because yeah, I'm not used to them having a second season. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean? I also feel like this show did such a good job of showing, like, if this was an apocalyptic world, right? Like, if everyone was possibly going to die, what kind of person are you going to be? And I think it's a very important thing to show in a show in Asia. And I know people will be like, why is it more important? I think that, here's the thing, Americans are so much more open. Americans, Canadians, Europeans are so much more open about how they feel, what they're going to do. Not like, I don't think that there's as big of a stigma on disappointing your parents, having to be a part of, like getting bullied for not being a sheep. Like, everyone, it's a shared consciousness type of thing in Asia, and so you will get bullied if you don't dress the same or you don't act the same, if you look different. And it proves that even, like, because people will be like, oh, like, even if everyone looked the same, there'll still be bullying, there'll still be not racism, but like xenophobia, or like people talking about like phenotypes and stuff like that. There's always going to be something to bully about, and it doesn't really matter even if you look the same. I think like so and yes, Korea and Japan has a lot of problems with xenophobia. I know that, but yeah, like, so I don't, but then at the same time, shows like this show that, like, even if you're born and raised there and you're like you know these people for your whole life, you still might get bullied and bad things might happen. Because Hyo-sang, I don't actually know how big Hyo-sang is, but from my understanding from the show, it's not that big. And so, yeah, like, I assume that most people know each other or know of each other in this town, or, like, you know what I mean? And so, just, like, the people who are gonna get bullied will still get bullied. And, I don't know, I think bullying in Asia is just treated, like, all the show could have been avoided if they didn't get bullied. But, yeah, it's, like, it's really, I don't know, it's a really hard issue, and it's, like, how do we solve this? I think, I don't know, like, it's, as someone who's never gone to school in Japan, I don't know, but I know that it's a huge issue, and I've heard it's getting better, but it's terrifying. I think it's, like, also because it's a zombie apocalyptic show, they're allowed to be very, very honest about how bad bullying is in Asia. I think that if this was if this was not a show that's supposed to be somewhat fantasy, if that makes sense, they wouldn't go as in detail, because these things do happen. And, like, yes, there's some Japanese shows and Korean shows that go into it, but I feel like this was just so raw and real, and it was just very, very fascinating how raw and real a show about zombies could be about a very, very, very serious topic like bullying. It also showed, like, the people who are bad people were that pretended to be good were going to be bad people when bad things happen, because there's no reason to pretend anymore. There was no reason to hide their inside face versus outside face. I don't know if you know what that is. Again, I'm saying this as a Japanese American, so I don't really know about Korea, but in Japan there's, like, the people are very two-faced, because there's a face in front and then it's a face in back. And so there's a face that you show everyone, right? And then this is who you really are. And it's just kind of, that's what people say Japanese people are mean, because, like, that's a huge, like, known thing. And I think that when tragedy happens and nothing matters anymore, you're only the person behind, because there is no reason for yourself to be the person in front, because who cares if there's no repercussions? Why would you care about being a good person when being a good person is not really, people don't try to be good people because they want to be good people, is so people will see them as good people most of the time, ain't it? So is that a deep conversation I'm talking about? I don't know, but yeah, this is a really good show. I really like it. I honestly would recommend this, but I just realized I didn't give you, there's a lot of gore in the show. If you can't watch gore, don't watch the show, because it's so gory. Yeah, it's, like, very, very gory, but it's not scary gory, because, like it's not like Saw gory. It's like, you guys know what I mean, it's, like, more like, I don't know, explain it. Like, there's, like, gushing blood and stuff like that, but it's not like body horror. I mean, it could be. It's, like, slight body horror, but it's not, like, very, very bad, like, will affect you for the rest of your life body horror. At least for me, as someone who's a scaredy cat, and who can't do body horror. It's not like stuff, like, it's not like most of the times, like, limbs and stuff are getting cut off and stuff. Like, that freaks me out. Like, when there's a saw or something, like things like, it's not like Chainsaw Massacre or Saw, because those, like, freak me out. Like, those are, like, the gore, and those are, like, really, really gory and creepy and scary, but that's not, like, it's not a horror movie. It's more like it's horror thriller-ish, but it's, like, more thriller side than it is horror. I think it's more psychological horror than it is a physical, actual horror, if that makes any sense. Yeah. If for some reason, I don't know, I might go back and try to do more, like, in-depth video, but I don't know. I really, I don't know if this video is gonna do well. Again, I've never done this really, but yeah, if you guys want me to do any other Korean dramas, let me know, because it's, yeah, and I'm, like I said, I might still do a video on School live action movie and compare these two. I'm probably gonna do a review on that and then a comparison, like, so 2 different videos. But yeah, so if you guys look forward to that, I don't know when that's going up, because I am horrible of actually planning out my videos. The reason why I'm actually, like, forcing myself to film this before work is because it's a new show and I want to make sure that it will do well in the algorithm. I'm a slave for the algorithm, obviously. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.